we haven't talked about this in a while, Ian. We have not spoken about GameStop's retro game record in terms of what they're mailing out to people from their website with their initiative. We had a good run for a while. When you were off the podcast for those 4 or 5 months, I had about 2 or 3 good topics, but it sort of died down because how many times can you go through the same thing? Mm-hmm. But, you had something in your life come up. I get email stuff, so we're going to talk about one of them. This is from Chris. I believe he posted this on Reddit as well, but he emailed me. Hey, Pat. First, let me start by saying I'm a diehard New York Rangers fan, too. There you go. Please keep talking about New York Rangers hockey in the podcast. Okay, I never do that, but I'll bring him up every once in a while.
Go Leafs!
Go. Okay. He wanted to discuss this, blah, blah, blah. He ordered from GameStop's website recently Captain America, which is fine, and Wayne's World, which had an issue for the NES. Wayne's World's a rare game. When I first unpacked the Wayne's World cartridge, I noticed that the label was super glossy photo paper, which made me nervous. I know this is a late release game on the console, and I've never seen it before, so I gave it a chance. Then I noticed at the bottom of the label, it actually says reproduction label on it. So I was super pissed to see this. I went to boot the cart in my NES, and on top of the label issue, the cart is NES Play Action Football. Not only did their crack team at Quality Control
I love that term.
miss the reproduction label, they never even powered up the cart, which I find very strange on a 99.99 item, which is $100. It failed Quality Control at the store that it was traded in at as well at their warehouse and distribution center. I contacted GameStop support on their website over 2 days ago. I haven't heard a response. I know that they can just take it back. I can take it back to a retail shop and get my money back, but I wanted to make sure they don't try to resell this card again. Well, can't guarantee that based on a Chrono Trigger in the past. Love the podcast. Thanks for entertainment. Chris.
Can I just point out something?
Sure.
You're like $99.99 items, and then you went, which is 100. Did we just get a little pat math?
I don't think that was Pat Man because I didn't add anything together.
But you rounded up. They teach you how to round up in math class.
In Pat Math school?
I think that's a little pat math.
Okay, that counts as Pat.
All right.
So, okay. There's tons of issues here. When you first look at the label, the colors are extremely wrong.
Yes.
The contrast is up to 1,000 on it, right? They're not.
It's a pretty dull label, if I recall correctly. Like the blues
Can I reach
are
it from
duller.
here? I can't reach it. WXY. I can't reach it.
Don't worry about it.
It says reproduction label.
That's like the 4th time I've heard of that happening. My friend Lincoln got a DuckTales 2, which also very clearly said reproduction label on the bottom.
They didn't power it up, obviously, to try it. When you look at the actual end label, it looks. You can see the X-Acto knife marked. Like you can see, it's like jagged a little bit on the left, on the facing you. It's a terrible situation. And not to go back to repro labels every time, but this isn't someone that said, "Oh, I'm just making. I just want a better label for my NES Play Action Football." This is someone saying, "I want to fuck someone over," and whether or not I think I'm fucking GameStop over, someone else now got fucked over. That has to get their money back.
Yep.
But what if, Ian? What if, they actually just did this on, got an AliExpress cart, and then the person that bought it said, "Oh, I bought a rare game. I had no idea." Then they're totally screwed. Like, thank God it was an NES Play Action Football, and thank God it's a reproduction label, because some of these reproduction labels don't say that on them. What would happen, Ian? We should just go back into we're just collectors, so it doesn't matter what we say. We just care about maintaining the value of our games, what people say online.
We're just assholes.
We're just assholes because we care about other people getting fucked over. So we're the assholes.
We
are the assholes, Ian.
Oh, by the way, apparently we just told people to throw cartridges
Yes,
away.
apparently, you know what?
That was my favorite.
So I guess
I loved that extrapolation.
So because we don't like, or we think that, for example, by the way, I own games with crappy labels, by the way. Lots of them.
Most of my games were crappy labels.
So in their world, if you don't have a label with if you have a label with a crappy a game with a crappy label, it's worthless to them. It's not to us, by the way.
No.
Because to us, some people will like it like Ian. I'll play some of my Super Nintendo labels are awful. My Mega Man X 2 and 3 are probably not the best. But you can always, Ian, you can sell the game with a crappy label besides getting a counterfeit label to put on it. And some people don't care. You'll get most of your money back or even all of it. You can give it to someone. You can trade it. It's not like when you get a game with a crappy label, it's either replace it with a counterfeit label or you throw it out. Those aren't the two I don't know how that became the two options.
No, that wasn't also it. They also said when we said to buy another copy with a better label, they automatically assumed that we were throwing the game away. No.
Every time I have did what I call label upgrade, I have not. Have I ever thrown a game out? Have you ever seen me thrown a video game?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. So I just got a
Pat actually has trash, recycling,
and then NES games.
And NES
label upgrades. So I just, for example, got a new wampum. The label's pretty bad, or it's not thrown out. It's in a box that I will bring to a convention and sell that game and give a discount on just to sell it. And someone will buy it, not give a shit because the game works, and play it.
That's like
I'm sorry I had to spell this out to some people, that I am not throwing out games with bad labels, nor do we condone that practice.
Actually, no, this is all a lie. What Pat actually does at his panels now is just take all of the games with bad labels and light them on fire.
I pull a Gallagher. I have a big rubber mallet, and I just smash all my games with bad labels.
Oh, Gallagher's
That's what
a
I do.
horrible person. Anyway,